So we're here to look at the Neyman Zero jacket, which is the latest product that attempts to address some of the things I was complaining about way back when I made that original video. So it kind of strikes me that there are three different things that we need protection from. Obviously, blunt force trauma. We need something solid, some big plates that are going to spread the impact of a heavy hit over a wider surface area. But we also need something that's going to be stab resistant, something that's going to cover all our skin, which is quite a contradictory need. Okay, it's not that a plate won't stop a stab from a broken blade, but you can't put plates on your underarms or the inside of your elbow or other bits that need to be able to move. So we also need a flexible overall covering that's going to protect us, that the plates can then go on top of or underneath. And historically, of course, it was sort of mail and plate did that job. The third thing that we do need to protect ourselves from is heat. Okay, so if you live in a hot climate, you will be well aware that heat stroke is a serious issue. You know, it kills people in work sites all the time. So it's not just, ventilation is not a luxury, it is a necessity, and it's just as liable to cause injury as either of the other two, and a whole lot more likely than a broken feta actually stabbing somebody. And that is also a contradictory need. Okay, if you're going to have something that covers all of you to prevent you from being stabbed from a theoretical broken blade, that is an opposite need to the need for coolness and ventilation and airflow. So let's have a look at how Neyman has addressed at least 2 out of the 3. So, first thing I want to say about Neyman is they're bloody fantastic to deal with. When I initially contacted them to order this jacket, which was about 10 seconds after it came out and somebody showed me, I thought, it's brilliant, that's exactly what I want. And so I said, you know, I would like this. I would like it also not in black. Red would be nice as my preference. And Neyman emailed back and apologised and said, we're very sorry, but this stuff that we make it from only comes in black, so we're only offering it in black. We're really sorry, because we do actually like things that aren't black. And so that was a little bit of a disappointment. Not because I have anything aesthetically against black, although, you know, there is the socio-political faux pas of choosing the wrong shade of black. But that aside, it's something that is just a ridiculous colour to wear where I live. This little bit I actually filmed at the tail end of last summer, when this topic came up again, and I never finished the video, so I never got to use it. But this is just a quick demonstration about what happens when you expose something that is black to the Australian sun. So obviously, if you don't want that to happen to your internal organs, black is a colour to avoid. So, you know, I was a little disappointed that my jacket would only come in a colour that soaks up every rad of radiation the sun can spew forth. But when the package arrived, guess what? It was red. Neyman made it happen. So just that sort of sensitivity to customers' needs is absolutely top-notch, so full marks for that. So let's have a look at what the jacket is like when you put it on and use it. So here is the jacket. So it's made out of this kind of squishy foam stuff, which, you know, you can hold this up to the light and see through it. It's sort of basically like sort of foam mesh. And so even though, yeah, it's black, sure, but even given that, it breathes amazingly, okay? So the ventilation on the lower arms here is just fantastic. You also have a great big panel of it down that whole back panel, so you get this fantastic ventilation through there as well. So in terms of keeping it cool, it's excellent, okay? Personally, I've always preferred short-sleeved gambesons for ventilation purposes, and as you can see, this is essentially short-sleeved. Everything below there is just the open foam meshy stuff. So really, really excellent coolness that way. The underarms, there's no padding there, that's just the material, so you get a little bit of ventilation there. And on the inside of the jacket, you have this sort of same foam squishy wicking type material, which keeps you quite cool even in the unventilated parts. It does up with the central zip, as you can see, reinforced with a little bit of Velcro. You've got a collar, no internal gorget, no double-breastedness or anything like that. In terms of protection, it's actually not too bad, okay? So I've certainly worn and used gambesons with less padding than this. So as it comes, I'd happily fight rapier or smallsword or, you know, say Hutton saber or classical saber, or, you know, and it's perfect for taking, say, the sting out of a shinai or a dusak or something along those lines. Obviously, for heavier weapons, you're going to want some solid plates, but that is a separate issue, and this is a really good basis for putting additional stuff onto. And maybe Neyman's plan is to eventually offer a sort of styro gum harness that you wear over the top of something like this. Having the squishy stuff down the arms is pretty nice, because it means when you put your plated things on your elbows and your forearms like that, you do have that little bit of extra padding between you and the plates, which is kind of nice and better than putting it on your bare skin, which is what I've tended to do so far. So it also comes with 0 pants. So these are, you know, sort of go on in the traditional fashion. They go down below the knees, which personally I hate, okay? You know, shorts are supposed to be short. They're supposed to be above the knees for ventilation purposes. That's why you wear them. These sort of 3/4 below the knees things that have come trendy in the last decade or so are just absurd and look dorky, okay? So I don't like those. But as you can see, these are actually very short shorts. They only go down to about there. Everything down below the knees is the breathable, squishy, meshy stuff. So again, fantastic for ventilation, keeps you nice and cool, provides that little bit of padding for solid things that you're going to put on your knees and your upper thighs. So the pants, and there's no padding here. This is just, again, just the material, so it's going to keep you, it's very light, going to keep you nice and cool. So the combination of the jacket and the pants are really quite excellent. So as I was saying, it's a really good basis for wearing other more protective stuff over the top on for the heavier weapons. So for example, sort of 19th century style broadsword apron still gives me all that ventilation down the back and under the armpits while protecting my body and my thighs from the heavy blows of the broadsword. If you don't like the aesthetic of having something over the top, you could of course just put something underneath. So I could do the same thing underneath, proffering the same protection, and again, nobody can see it. So it really does solve sort of 2/3 of the issues that we have. So anything I don't like about it? A couple of minor gripes maybe. I will say the sleeves are not particularly snug, okay, compared to the Spez ones where they're quite tight and the vambraces fit over the over the sleeves quite nicely. There's a lot of extra material here, and it's going to bunch up a little bit over whatever I put on top. And in fact, none of my current fan braces will fit over this. I'm going to have to make new kit just to go over there. The length, I will say, is a little odd. It kind of goes to sort of just below groin level, which is low enough that you get a little bit of a tug, little bit of a restriction on the legs there. As you move, you know it's there. It doesn't get in the way, but you know that it's there. Personally, I would have preferred a more sort of Renaissance-y cut, something that goes down to about there, and then extra pieces going all the way down to the top of the knees there. And I'm sure Neyman would make that for me if I asked them as a custom job. But those are pretty minor gripes. Overall, this is just a wonderful, wonderful basis for the sort of protection that I really, really want. Okay, it does offer me the stab resistanceness over the entire body, while retaining ventilation and coolness. So I can wear this for an hour at a time without feeling the need to rip it off and cool down, which is about a fourfold improvement over, say, the old Spez thing. So 5 stars from me. The Neyman Zero jacket and Neyman Zero pants, a really, really good set. Neyman's customer service is just excellent. Okay, so I was having, say, some sizing issues. I'm kind of on the cusp of L to XL according to their chart, and I was at an event in Seattle and I tried somebody else's Neyman stuff on, different model jacket, but I just wanted to check the size, and it was XL, and I thought, oh, this is way too big. I've overcompensated as far as size goes, and I'm going to swim in this. So I contacted Neyman and expressed my concerns, and they just said, send us your measurements, we'll make sure it fits. And they did. It fits beautifully. It's not stiff at all, doesn't need any wearing in. I can use it pretty well straight out of the box. And even in, as you can see, the sun's come out, it's quite hot, but I'm quite comfortable in this, and I just feel the breeze going straight through the arms and right down the back and right through my legs, and I'm not uncomfortable at all. So that is just absolutely unique. I have never worn any sort of gambeson or fencing jacket that does that before. So thumbs up for the Neyman Zero jacket. Blows from heavy weapons, and that really requires some sort of solid plate that's going to spread the impact over the body, whether it's a thrust or a cut. Second thing that we need protection from is, of course, stab resistance for the possibility of a broken blade thrusting at us. Oh, pussycat, you are